Hey guys, welcome back. If you watched my previous video, I mentioned that I'm going to be brewing up something a little bit different to the all grain brews I normally do. I thought I would revisit doing an extract brew, especially since I saw a new range of extract kits come out from Brewing. So we'll swing the camera around and I'll show you what I'm brewing up. This is one of the newly released Brick Road Brewing extract kits. So it's the Pacific Pale Ale. I think I mentioned in my previous video they have quite a big range, and I'll put a link to their website in the video description. So it's a 1.5 kilo can, so you get the can itself, and then under the lid you get 6 grams of American ale yeast and then the brewing instructions. So because I'm doing a half batch, I'm just going to be using the can on its own, sort of like using 2 cans, equivalent of 2 cans in a full batch. If you are doing a full batch and you want to add some fermentables, they've got some suggestions on the back of the can of some dry malt extract you can use. So yeah, we're just going to keep it simple. Use the 1 can. Obviously, or maybe not obviously, it's bitted to 17 IBUs, but because I'm effectively only doing a half batch, that's going to double that bitterness to around 34. So that's still, you know, a good level. It's not going to be over the top bitter. And then to the actual can itself, I'm going to be adding, I've got 100 grams of Nelson's Albin from this year's harvest, so I'm going to use half. I've got 50 grams here. I'm going to do like a hop stand at 80 degrees and some hot water just to release all the oils etc out of the hops, and then I'll add that to the can. Yeah, so it came with this American ale yeast, but notice it's only 6 grams, and on the can here they do suggest that you can use other yeasts, I think, somewhere. So I had a packet of US-05 sitting in the fridge, so I'm going to use that instead, just to give the kit its best chance to turn out a good beer. So yeah, let's get started. I think the first thing we'll do is we will get this into some hot water just to make it easier to get out of the can. Okay, so we've got the malt extract sitting in some hot water, so I'll probably let that sit there for a good 10 or 15 minutes, and while that's happening I have put the 50 grams of Nelson into this pot and just lined it with a grain bag, just so when I pull the bag out, all the hop debris hopefully will stay in the bag. We don't want all that transferred into the fermenter. So yeah, that's at started at 80 degrees Celsius, and we'll let that sit there for 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm just starting to mix the malt extract out of the tin with some warm water just to dissolve it etc. Had a few fun and games trying to get the can open. Our regular can opener was struggling a little bit, but we got there in the end. So I'll carry on with this, and then we will be adding in the hop tea, so we'll come back shortly. Okay, so we're going to add in the hop tea. Give that a good stir. Okay, so we are pretty much done. Got everything in the fermenter here. It's cooled down to 24 degrees Celsius, so that's not a bad temperature. I can pitch the US-05, so we'll just sprinkle that on the top like so. So yeah, we'll put the lid on, we'll put the airlock on, and we'll put it into the fridge, and we'll ferment this at 18 degrees. So the only other thing I have to do is probably around day 3 or 4, I'm going to add in the other 50 grams of the Nelson's Albin for the dry hop, and that'll be it. I have got a hydro sample here, so I'll take a reading of that and see what that started out. It'd be interesting seeing I just use the one can on its own. Okay, so the fermenter's tucked up in the fermentation fridge, fermenting at 18 degrees. So here is the hydro sample. So I really didn't give much thought as to what the original gravity was going to come out at. I was hoping in the 1040s sort of range. It's actually come out at 1054, which is a bit of a surprise. So I'll probably end up with about a 5.7-ish % beer, so a little bit higher than I was thinking, but yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. Nice looking colour. Obviously that's going to change during fermentation, hopefully maybe lighten up a little bit. We'll just check mainly the bitterness. I want to make sure, you know, I sort of calculated mid-30s. So I can't really tell, you know, exactly what the IBUs are obviously, but yeah, it's hoping for around the mid-30s, and it tastes sort of in that ballpark. It's sort of got quite moderate bitterness, but it's not too bitter. It's not IPA, you know, bitter or anything. So happy with that. Taste-wise, it pretty much tastes how you'd expect the liquid malt extract to taste once it's mixed up with some water. Just sort of sweet malt. So yeah, it's not really giving you any indication at all. So yeah, that's everything done and dusted. It was pretty straightforward. As you guys know, when you're dealing with liquid malt extract, that's probably the not the most difficult part, but you've got the sticky liquid malt extract coming out of the can, so that's always a bit of a challenge. But apart from that, pretty straightforward. So yeah, happy days. We'll keep you posted, and then in probably about 3 weeks I'll do a taste test of the Pacific Pale Ale. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.